You're an idiot and you know it. You're no good. That is my cruel inner voice. I'm sure you have one too, but we don't have to listen to it. But let's deal right now with your cruel inner voice and see what it means. You see, that harsh, critical voice in your head can be exhausting. It's never good news. First things first is we need to understand where the inner voice is coming from in the first place. It's not random. It's coming from a couple of places. Number one, it's coming from past experiences. So if you've had, say, harsh parents, teachers, bullies, or societal expectations, unfortunately, you are so intelligent, your memory is so long, these things stay and have some form of trace in you that it can be triggered in the moment by not necessarily a teacher or a parent or a bully, because you may be an adult and you mightn't have any of those people around you, but it can be triggered by a word they would have used. A parent said something, they had a phrase, a teacher did something, maybe they used their hands in a certain way, they looked like them, or indeed something, the time of year, the smell, the sounds. By triggering, you're right back into where you felt. And this is tough. Perfectionism is another thing. The belief that you must be flawless to be worthy. And it's not true. You're beautiful. So why not be that? It's going to help you now and in the future. It could be also fear and protection. We have this natural urge to protect ourselves. We don't want to be being insulted or aggressed towards why we want that. Sometimes the inner critic tries to keep you from failure or rejection. Then there's challenging times, like call out its lies. If that inner voice is saying things and it isn't true, rationally you know so, your cruel inner voice is in truth not going to tell you the truth always, because it can wind up distorted thinking. It can exaggerate failures and minimize successes. It can have an all or nothing mindset and saying, I always mess up. And are you good enough for extreme things and thoughts that are being said? It can also have negative biases. The brain, you see, remembers criticisms and compliments, and it can wire it back in through your memory to the present moment to flicker back towards you and give you that jolt where you feel the cruel inner voice coming along. But in truth, it's mixing up positive words with negative, and suddenly you're confused. What do? Well, you can write down your thoughts. You can see it on a piece of paper and know that, look, that's absolute junk. That's not true. That's not real. Rationalize it. That's where our thinking brain comes in, and it can be our friend. That then feeds back into the subconscious, which will be your inner voice later on. So the more times you do these exercises, such as writing down things and rationalizing them, the better it will be in the longer term. Would I say this to a friend? Ask yourself that question. Like, if it's my head and there's a voice there, surely it's going to be my friend, or at least guide me in some way. So I'm going to guide my friend, haven't I? Give them the best advice that I know for them. So would I say this to a friend? If not, why say it to yourself? It just doesn't make sense. So reframe it. Instead of, I'm failing, try, I had a setback today, but look, I can learn from it. Because construction of the future and giving a plan to ourselves is what we love in our brains. Our prefrontal cortex loves planning, and it loves making sure that we have something to go towards our goals. So we're taking the negative, putting it on paper, looking at it, and then summarizing towards ourselves and promising ourselves in the future that we're going to improve. That's a good thing. And the reality is, our voice may sound like ourselves. It's just negative. But we can replace with a kinder voice. So if your self-talk has been cruel for years, it can still be done. You just have to be stronger with what you're doing right now and in a more positive and supportive role. It won't change overnight, but thankfully you'll be here longer than a few years. So try to start training now. Be consistent. Use affirmations so that if you're really challenged, really tired, and lacking energy and nutrition, and that's when the thoughts, they really become loud, the negative ones, and they can guide you to do silly things and things you know you'll regret, but you just can't help reacting in that way. The affirmations will come in and they'll bash them up because they are the ones that you are pushing. You have the energy to do that. I am learning and I am growing. Yeah, by saying something like that, you're admitting the past wasn't the best place for me, but I am going to have a better future. Celebrate small wins and notice that when you have them, you can build, make the small wins bigger, make it to a brilliant success for you in the future. It's about reframing your thoughts, making them more positive and positive constantly in the future. Then you can make sure that you are not your thoughts. Like, your inner critic is just one part of your mind. It doesn't own you or define you. So if it's talking to you loud and proud about negative things and making or trying to get you to be down and do things you know you'll regret, you can grab it by the throat and say, look, okay, that's just that talking. That's not me. I'm the guy with the hand. I'm the person who can control things here. So you can then use softer things like mindfulness to get the stress levels down. Because even if you're not going through a stressful situation at work or at home or in your relationships or in your personal life and your health, there can be a accumulation of things that have gone on and you didn't realize. You thought you floated through, but you're not off the hook right now. So you need the tools like mindfulness to observe your thoughts without then reacting emotionally. Shifting your focus is giving you a welcome distraction. It's strengthening the positive voice. What you focus on grows, and it truly does. Instead of like battling the inner voice 24/7, waking up in the middle of the night, not getting any rest from it, you need to start using your pen or pencil, journaling positive experiences and tracking your wins, naming them like a league table in sport where you can see the good times and see the bad times, actually counting them, and you will improve. The wins will make sure that the negatives and the losses are going the other side of things. And you know what? There's down the middle too. You can have draws where, okay, I tried to be positive, it didn't work, but it didn't work out too badly, so you're on the up. Be gracious about the things you can control. They will increase because you, at the end of the day, through being a small child, going through the parent problems or with a teacher or whatever else, even though you're small and energetic and you listened and you looked, you knew that you didn't have power. So you processed it in a way to just survive and get to the next moment. You had no experience. Now you're stronger, you're bigger, you're an adult. This is it. So you have the control over those thoughts. So if you surround yourself with supportive people, you can even have a conversation, show them this video, blow it up for yourself so that it can be the standardized foundation of where you're going to work from. Watch this video 10 times, watch it many times, or go and make sure something that was said in this video helps you in the future, that you're redirected towards some other form of help. That would indeed help me help you even more. And I'd be very, very happy that it's helping you and others around you. Lastly, try therapy, deep work, because the things like cognitive behavioral therapy will give you techniques as well as going to the basis of what's happening, and so that you can get further along the line and be good to yourself with your self-talk and that critical inner voice. It's there to help us, but not to hinder us. And I'm hopefully have helped you. And if I have, thank you for giving me of your time and knowing that my voice could replace the critical inner one. And hopefully in the future, we'll get to see it face to face. Who knows? Until next time though, please do know I'm thankful and I'd love you to watch more.